So, what separates the women who remain stuck in their 9 to 5 from the women who actually change their lives? Let's talk about it because I want to be in the group of women who change their lives. All right. So it is never about what these women do during their 9 to 5, but it has 100% to do with what they do after their 9 to 5. So I wanted to talk about what's the difference, okay? What are they doing differently? Because quite honestly, I want to be with a group of women that are willing to say, next year, I'm going to quit my 9 to 5, or next year I'm going to start building my business, or next year I'm going to do this, or I'm going to do that. I want to be with the women that are planning a way out, because that's exactly where I am, and I need to know what they're doing different. So first, let me start by saying we all have two options once we leave work. And when I say leave, I'm talking about the end of the day. We have two options. We can either escape reality, okay, sit there in front of our phones and scroll through social media, waste our time, have dinner, and go to sleep and go back to the 9 to 5 the next day. Or we have option number two, which is what we do from 5 to 9. We are working on building a business. We are learning a new skill. We are learning even with free videos. There's so much free information out here. So these women that are building differently, they're taking action, okay? And we're going to dive into the actions that these women are taking, because I want you to be able to take action as well. Now, so what's one thing I love to do? And I think this makes a huge difference between the women that succeed building their dream life and women who do not. One of the main things that I focus on every single day after work is making things simple. Because if things are not simple for me, it's just going to be overwhelming, okay? Whether that may be content, creating a digital product, working on my business, just doing anything within the business. I try to do simple steps every single day. I don't focus on building an empire in one night. It's just not going to happen. Um, and an example that I want to give you is today I have way more time. It's a Saturday. I have more time to create content, but there is so much stuff going on right around me, either in the family or in my community. It's loud where I am. I came to the park. It's loud here. So there's so many things that happen that make it difficult. So I try to simplify things. Okay. So I ask myself, what is one thing that I can do today to just move forward? Okay. A little bit. It may be an email, it may be work on a module. Okay. Something simple. It may be making a reel, making a carousel, something that is going to connect me to my ideal client, and something that is going to expand my business without overwhelming me. Okay. And that's all I focus on a daily basis. Okay. That is my mindset when it comes to working the business after my 9 to 5. Now, the number two thing I do to build my dream life is focus on posting before I consume. And let me tell you, it can be very, very tempting to come home exhausted from work, especially those of you that work with people. I feel for you, okay? Because I used to work with people every day, and it's the most mentally draining job you can possibly have, okay? So I understand the temptation of scrolling through social media or just laying on your couch and calling it a day, okay? So I focus on either posting content or building something in my business rather than consuming content, okay? Because when I'm consuming, I'm helping someone else. But when I'm posting and when I'm creating, I am building for myself. So that is the number two thing that I do every single day, okay? There may be days where I don't, okay? So let's be honest. There's days that I'm not posting, okay? And especially now that I'm like staying away from social media, I'm doing a lot of planning versus posting, but I'm still focused on my business as my second priority instead of scrolling and wasting time. Ooh, my hair is a mess. All right, guys. So I think number three for me is working my business when I have the energy to do it. So I don't work against my energy. That must be, I left it for number three, but I think that should be number one. I do not work against my energy levels, okay? I am over 40. I am busy. I have a family. I have responsibilities in church. I have my business. I work a 9 to 5. So I give myself grace, okay? I know that there's going to be days that I'm just not gonna have the energy. Okay, today is one of those days. Actually, I do push myself a little bit, but not too much. The reason why today is one of those days is not because I don't have the energy. Is I feel like there's days that everything is just working against you when it comes to creating content. So I'm not trying to fight it. Okay, I'm done with this video and I'm just going home. I'm making food, coffee, whatever, because although it's a beautiful day, everything is just not working today. Okay, either computer, microphone, things is not charged, a computer is not charged. I thought this was. So there's just so much that goes on, and I just give myself the grace to say, okay, I'm not doing this today, and I'll move on to doing something else. And I think that's super important when you're building a business, because the whole idea behind building a business is that you're creating freedom for yourself. You're not creating another job that you're forced to go to because you have to pay bills. You are creating freedom. And so it has to feel like freedom. And I think something that is equally important to, giving yourself grace and just doing things every day for your business. One of the things that's super important is protecting your vision. You have a vision for this business, and it is yours. Okay, it is yours to keep, it is yours to protect, it is yours to develop. Okay, and just because you have it doesn't mean that other people understand it, and it also doesn't mean that other people respect it. Okay, so you have to be protective of your vision, because you have to believe that this is something God gave you, and this is something that God is going to use not only to prosper you, but to prosper other people. He is using this as part of your purpose. And there's just going to be a lot of people who will not understand why you're fighting so hard. And there's going to be people that think you need their approval in order to do this. And let me just say, protect your vision, okay? Don't let anyone put anything in it that God hasn't told you belongs in it, okay? Super important that you protect your vision and what God has shown you that He's gonna do through it, okay? So this is why I don't talk to a lot of people about my business, because sometimes people think the reason why we build a business is money. Or if I say I'm part of this is leaving my 9 to 5, then people assume I don't want to work. So it could be confusing for people who don't have the vision to see eye to eye. And so it's not necessary that you talk to everyone, but do talk to people who have either a similar vision or who have their own process, okay? People who God is using in other ways, and they can tell, they're more sensitive, right, to business and things of that nature. There's people that are not called to build businesses, and so because they don't have the gifts, they also don't have the understanding. Okay, and you have to feel okay with being rejected, okay with being misunderstood. Okay, it's perfectly fine to be misunderstood in the process. Women who are building their dreams, they are not doing extravagant things. They're not spending hours, a day working their businesses or working on their dream. They're actually taking small, consistent, intentional steps. Okay. So that's what it comes down to. Small steps each and every single day that push you or align you with your purpose and with your dream life. The great difference between those women that are doing it and the women that are not, it's definitely in the small steps that women take each and every single day to create change for their lives. I dive deep into those small steps in Purpose to Prosperity because I think women have to shift their mindset and really focus on those daily tasks that sometimes may not seem like a lot, but those are the ones that actually deliver results. So, in Purpose to Prosperity, my focus definitely is taking those small steps and teaching women how to implement those small steps. Okay. Now, every good dream, every good business, anything that we build has to have a good foundation, which is why I'm giving you guys a free copy of the foundation, which is all of the steps that women need to take prior to building anything. Okay. You can apply this to absolutely anything in your life, but we are focused on business, but definitely anything in life, you would need to apply those small steps in order for you to build the right way. So grab a copy. The link is going to be in the description of this video. Again, Purpose to Prosperity has not launched yet. The goal is to launch July 1st. If you want to be in the founders circle and if you want to be the first to know when we launch, definitely get the foundation because everyone that downloads a copy of that ebook will be automatically put into the wait list for Purpose to Prosperity. And I'm looking forward, guys, to another video where I can give you guys more tips on how to grow your business and how to align it with your purpose. So I'll see you in another video. Blessings.